Hello again. We are Chris Lee and Chase Robinson of Southeastern 16 here to preview Texas's game with Louisiana-Monroe. You can catch that at 7 Central on ESPN Plus or the SEC Network Plus. So make sure you've got the app on that. Texas, as of Wednesday morning, a 44.5-point favorite with an over-under of 53. The Longhorns would win that one. The model I've got's got them by 45.5. But anyway, implied final score and all that, Texas 49, ULM 4. Be interested to see how ULM gets to 4. That could be interesting there. But
it could.
But
yes.
Hey, big week for the Longhorns. They reached number 1 in the polls, and ULM, usually one of the bottom feeders of the FBS, comes in actually at 2-0. Now, one of those wins was Jackson State, but probably a little more interesting of a season for ULM too than what we would have expected so far.
Yeah, you're right, and they've changed things up down there at ULM, and Bryant Vincent is the head coach there at Monroe. He was the offense coordinator at UAB for several years, and was actually the interim head coach at UAB. And then when they hired Trent Dilfer, Bryant Vincent went down to Louisiana-Monroe, and I think it's got this program going in the right direction. And you get the number 1 team in the country, though, in Texas. That's going to be a tough bout there. Texas, I feel like, is playing really good football, the best football I feel like we've seen from the Longhorns in a number of years.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's talk about this side of the matchup when ULM's got the ball. The offense is led by the infamous General Booty at quarterback. Ahmad Hardy, their leading rusher, 33 carries for a $161, almost 5 a carry. James Jones, their number 2 back, is over 100 yards, 5.5 a carry. Leading receiver, as they've spread it around a little bit, Javon Campbell, 5 catches for 89 yards. Really, I feel like ULM's strength is more on the defensive side of the ball than the offensive side of the ball. The offense has been kind of pedestrian. They are averaging 31 points a game on 60 snaps, running plays 4.8 yards per, passing plays 6.6 per. Haven't turned it over, but they haven't seen a defense like Texas is going to bring either.
Right, and I think that's the biggest thing is, I feel like this Louisiana-Monroe offense can move the ball. Bryant Vincent is an offensive coach, and so I feel like he's brought some good things offensively for Monroe. But yeah, they're facing a defense who I feel like is just an incredible defense in Texas. I love the Longhorns defense, the personnel, the scheming. They pitched a shutout against Colorado State. They gave up 12 points to Michigan and 7 points to UTSA. And so this defense is absolutely dominant, and it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball. This defense is going to come ready to play and wreak some havoc on your offense. And Monroe's going to get a big taste of that this weekend.
Yeah, and Texas has got a lot of depth too. Now, maybe It's a little less of a factor since it's a night game, probably cooler, but that is something we've talked about all year, just how many bodies the Longhorns have across the board on that side of the ball.
They do, and they're deep everywhere. That's what makes this team so good is they are just deep, and they can put guys in and out. And, and I think on defense, they have some guys who are good at some things, and so they're able to swap guys in and out and make this defense elite the way it is because the number of great guys that they have.
Yeah, the numbers on Texas, by the way, defensively, 60 snaps a game, 6.3 points, 3.3% turnover rate, 3.9 yards per running play. That adjusts for sacks, 4.2 per passing play, and 4.1 yards against them per snap on the whole. Before we analyze the other side of the matchup, a reminder, content brought to you by BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number 1 source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff. Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino, get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. Texas's offense, I will read you the numbers. 46.3 points a game on 70 snaps per game, 1.4% turnover rate, 5.1 on running plays, 9.8 on passing plays, 7.5 yards, actually 7.4 total per snap. Now, ULM's strength, I would say relatively, is its defense, giving up 10 points a game, 60 snaps, 3.3% turnover rate, 4.0 yards on running plays, 4.9 on pass plays for a total of 4.5 total. But again, they've seen nothing like the talent Texas is bringing. The depth is present on the offense too. And oh, by the way, we'll see that depth and I think a heavy dose of Arch Manning this weekend, Chase.
Yeah, it's the injury to Quinn Ewers is not as serious as they thought it was. And so therefore he will be week to week, as Steve Sarkisian has put it. He's day to day going into this game, and Sark has already said he's going to be day to day going into the Mississippi State game the following week. So, but you're in a great position. We've talked about this all offseason. No matter what happens to Texas, no matter who's the quarterback, they are in fantastic hands. And we saw that Saturday. Quinn Ewers goes down, it's next man up. It's Arch Manning coming in and doing big things. And I was reading something earlier that Arch Manning has higher betting odds for the Heisman than Quinn Ewers does now. We've seen him, in just, not much of one game. It's crazy, just the depth of this team. And we saw that at quarterback Saturday. We've seen it in other positions offensively for Texas. But they're in good hands no matter who the quarterback is. I love Quinn Ewers. I love him as a quarterback. Arch Manning is great as well. Obviously, he can sling it around the field, and this offense is going to put up big numbers no matter who is taking the snaps at quarterback.
Yeah, of interest on that defense, ULM has made 7 sacks. Has not given one up yet. Billy Pullen off the edge has had 3 of those. Leading tackler is Carl Glass Jr. with 21 total stops. So those are the names to know for ULM. Picks, Chase, I'll let you start with yours, please.
Yeah, a huge win for the Texas Longhorns. I think they get it done. And we mentioned Monroe has a they haven't given up many points this year, and so I just don't think they can keep up with this high-powered offense. Yeah. I have a feeling Texas is going to be able to put as many points on the board as they want in most games they play this season, and so I got Texas winning big Saturday.
Yeah, the defensive stats for ULM are kind of interesting if you want to make a case for this game not being the route that it would appear to be on paper. But again, I think you maybe have to throw some of those out given the fact of who Texas is and the depth. I'm thinking, is there a look-ahead game for the Longhorns? Well, it's Mississippi State, which is the worst team in the conference. So you could say you could catch Texas looking ahead to SEC play next week, but I think a home game with Mississippi State, not one that you just circle and dream on for a couple of weeks if you're Texas. So I like Texas big here too. We'll be here to wrap it up. Afterwards, we'll have a live stream sometime Saturday night. Probably 9:30, 9:45 Central is when we'll start. So we'll talk about this one and all the other games. We do baseball, football, basketball here year-round at Southeastern 16. Advertising inquiries, caroline.smith at southeastern14.com. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been listening to Southeastern 16, presented by BetOnline.